How can I help you?
I got some currency here
Okay.
that I found in an old roll-top desk that my grandparents had.
So was there any other papers in it or anything like that?
There were some old newspapers. Didn't look like it was worth anything.
Was it newspapers from like July 4th,
No.
1776 or anything like that?
No, it wasn't. I know that. It wasn't. I'm coming into the pawn shop to sell my antique currency. I haven't done a whole lot of research on it, but I hope they're worth something.
So what can you tell me about them?
Well, this one right here is from the state of New York, and it looks like it has the 10 Commandments right on the back. And this one is for 6 shillings. It's from Philadelphia, and it's dated 1777. This one, though, I think is the most valuable because it has printed by B. Franklin, which I assume would be Benjamin Franklin.
Benjamin Franklin was in the printing business. He was the Rupert Murdoch of his time. He
Okay.
controlled, I think, right around 60 different newspapers. I could be wrong, but it was a lot. We all know Ben Franklin was famous for many things. He was a scientist, a statesman, an inventor, a musician, but he was also a printer. In fact, he was the editor and printer of the Pennsylvania Gazette, which at the time was one of America's most prominent newspapers. The reason Ben Franklin got into politics originally was not because of politics, it was for the printing contracts. Ethics weren't exactly the same back then as they were today. People wanted to be in government so they could get the printing contracts.
Okay.
What you have here is Revolutionary War currency.
Okay. One of the things I don't understand is why this one says dollars and these two say shillings.
Most people don't realize this, but we weren't really a country yet. Basically, there was going to be 13 countries with a loose affiliation similar to the European Union. And that's why this country is called the United States, because everywhere else in the world, a state is a country. So what do you want to do with them? Pawn them, sell them?
Looking at selling?
All right, these two right here, I know a lot about. They're not in great condition. There's nothing really special about them. And they're worth right around $100 a piece. That's what they're worth retail.
Okay.
This one, on the other hand, I don't know a lot about. This bill is almost 250 years old. It's one of the oldest notes I have ever seen. And since it's printed by Ben Franklin, I'm just not sure what they go for it. So before I make you an offer on this one, I really want someone to look at it that's an expert on Revolutionary War currency.
Okay, sounds good.
I'm really hoping the expert tells me this is really by Ben Franklin, because I've never had anything by Ben Franklin in my shop, and I would love to have it.
Hey, Rick.
How's it going?
This is the currency you called me about?
This is it.
I'm an expert in early American history and early American paper money. What I love about this period of American history is that it was the founding of our nation. We were the first country in the modern world to base our economy on the use of paper money.
Well, this one's from 1776. This one's from 1777. Continental currency, I'm familiar with them. This one, on the other hand, 1764. It's printed by Ben Franklin, and I'm just not real familiar with it. When did Benjamin Franklin start printing?
Well, he bought a newspaper in 1729, and he began printing his Poor Richard's Almanac. A lot of people aren't aware that he also printed paper money. Printed upon this note are the words, "To counterfeit is death." Counterfeiting of paper money was a big problem during the colonial period. Benjamin Franklin, being the inventor that he was, also helped to stem counterfeiting in America by his invention of nature prints. Ben Franklin invented a device where he would take a leaf from a tree and put them down right onto a central platen, and then he would press them down, having been inked, and they would leave a natural impression on the paper. It was actually a major leap forward in anti-counterfeiting technology. The reason that this anti-counterfeiting device was so successful was because there are such fine, wonderful lines in nature in a leaf that no hand of a counterfeiter could draw it precisely. The fact that this is printed by Benjamin Franklin indeed makes it far more valuable and interesting to collectors. However, this particular issue has one outstanding feature. If you look on this note, you'll see in light red ink here the signature of George Clymer. And George Clymer is a very important person in American history. He was one of only 5 people who signed both the Declaration of Independence and the United States Constitution. This is the only issue, this 1764, that George Clymer signed. As such, he's very rare to find on Pennsylvania currency. George Clymer was actually the first person to publicly advocate for the total separation of America from England. So he is to be considered a tremendously important figure in American history.
So what are they worth?
This note would normally be worth about $300 to $400 as a regular Ben Franklin note signed by just anybody. But having the George Clymer signature on it, it's easily worth $1,500 to $2,000,
Wow.
perhaps more in a strong auction. You have a tremendous piece of American history that's of great value to collectors.
Dana, thanks for coming in. Really appreciate it.
When I came in here, I thought the note with Ben Franklin's signature on it was going to be the deciding factor, but to find out that George Clymer's signature was the one that really made it valuable was real surprising to me.
So how much you want for these?
Well, you told me these were worth about $100 a piece, and this was about $1,500. So how about $1,500 for all three?
All right, these right here, I'd give you 50 bucks a piece. And I really don't even care about those. This is the one I want.
How about $1,000 for that one?
How about 700 bucks?
How about $900 for all three pieces?
I mean, I really, really want it, and I want to give you 700 bucks for it.
Would you be willing to do some trade?
I could do that. I could do like 500 bucks in cash and like 300 bucks in trade.
500 in trade.
And $300 in cash?
500 in cash.
Yeah, I'll do it. 500 cash, 500 in trade.
Okay.
Let's write up the paperwork.
Okay.
I'm really excited we were able to make a deal because this is one of those items I'll put in my store, and I'm going to put a really high price tag on it because I don't want to sell it.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Hey, how's it going? Good to see you.
You look familiar.
Yeah, I've been here before.
This guy recently sold us literally over 100 grand of silver. That was a big buy for us, so it'd be really cool to see what he has this time. What you got?
It's an 1874 Chopmarked trade dollar.
You want to trade quarters for it?
No, looking to sell it. I think this is a really cool coin because when I bought it at the trade show, it was one of the only coins that had a chop mark on it. It's time to liquidate. The wife's pregnant and I gotta buy some diapers. I'm looking to get $1,000 today, but the least I'll take is $500.
So where'd you get this at, man?
Actually, I got it at a coin trade show in California a few years back up in San Francisco.
Okay. The whole reason these things came about is because China and a bunch of other countries in Asia, they didn't like our currency when we would go over there and trade with them. But believe it or not, they actually liked the Mexican peso more because it had more silver in it.
Okay.
So what we did was we started making these. We put a little bit more silver in them, so they would actually prefer these over the Mexican peso. They would take them and they would take a little tool and they'd put a chop mark in it. And that's how they kind of tested their silver in them. They were never meant to get into the hands of normal consumers in the United States. But what ended up happening is silver prices started to really fall, so China threw all their old trade dollars on some ships, brought them into the United States, and traded them for gold.
Okay.
The whole idea of trade dollars started in the 1860s, when the price of silver went down because of all the mining in the western U.S. So what do you want to do with it, man?
It's time to sell it.
All right, I'd be willing to give you around 400 bucks for it.
400? I'm looking online, this thing's worth $1,000.
Were you able to sell it to your computer?
Unfortunately, not the computer or the baby store. I mean, can you come off that a little bit? Like, at least 800.
I'll go like 450, man.
750.
The problem is it's chop marked. There's a big debate on whether or not a chopped mark is just part of the coin's history or if it's just damage that was done to the coin by the Chinese government. That being said, the most I'm gonna go is 500 bucks, dude.
Well, the baby's coming on the way in a few months, so $500?
500. Come with me, we'll write you up.
I settled on 500 because it's money right now. I could probably go and try to sell it online, but that's more effort and more time.
Hey, how's it going?
Hi.
What we got here?
I've got a couple of notes to offer you. First off is a Bison star note, and I also have 2 consecutive chief notes.
Oh, sweet. The old school large paper money of the United States. This is when we actually made pretty money. And now they just put dead presidents and old guys on it.
I'm here today to sell some really cool and rare old US paper currency. I'm selling the notes to free up some cash and maybe put the money into another investment. I'm a pretty passionate collector. I've been collecting ever since I was a little kid.
These are in incredible shape, too. So where'd you get these things?
I picked them up at a trade show out east.
So these are right around 1901-ish?
This one is from 1901, and this is from 1899.
Okay. Right around when these were printed, there was so many people in rural America, they were never going to be able to get to a museum somewhere and see fine art. So the idea was, let's start putting artful things on the money so people in rural areas could appreciate great American art. Like, you look at this bill right here. You got Lady Columbia. This is a great American Indian chief. You have Lewis and Clark. We have, American Bison on it. I mean, it was big, it was bold, it was just pretty.
So much more color, too,
Everything about it's just cool.
Yeah.
It was really a drawn-out process. They used to have real artists who made the money, and it was really hard to counterfeit. One engraver engraved the portrait. A separate engraver would engrave the background on the front, and a third engraver would do the back of the bill. So if someone was going to counterfeit the bill, he'd have to be the world's greatest engraver because he'd have to do 3 different styles.
Really?
Yeah. The Bison I rarely get, and this was a star note, which means the printing press screws up somehow or the other, and they got to stop the whole thing, fix what's wrong, and start over again. First bill always has a star.
To my understanding, star notes are considerably rarer than regular issues.
In general, if they have a star, they're always worth more money. These I've had over the years, but I have never had, 2 perfect ones, though. How much are you looking to get out of them?
I'm asking $15,000 for the pair of Chiefs and $15,000 for the Bison, so basically $30,000 for all 3 notes.
Okay. I've seen these notes before. I just never seen them in this kind of shape, so I sort of need a little help with the price.
Okay.
It's not that I don't trust you, I just don't trust you. I'll be right back. I'm going to give someone a call.
I'm interested in hearing a second professional opinion. I'm very confident that he will agree with me.
Well, what do we have here today?
Paper money?
Well, these are pretty cool, Rick. These are part of the Wild Wild West theme. They're considered to be America's greatest currency designs of all time. The chief actually was part of the Sioux tribe. However, whomever did the engraving, he used a Pawnee headdress.
Okay.
Little fun fact there for you. The interesting part about the chief notes, it's unusual to see a consecutive pair. The government will make these in sheets of 4, cut them up, and then put them in packs of hundreds. So it's very unusual to find 2 consecutive.
They're in incredible condition. I mean, those are both graded 65, which is damn near as high as you can get, so.
So I guess you kind of want to know the value?
Yeah, he wants $30,000 total.
Okay. The collectability of the Bison star is going to be a little on a narrow field.
Okay.
I would put this as a retail value of probably 10 to 11 grand.
Okay.
The chief notes are very
Okay.
collectible, very easy to sell. I would say 99% of collectors want one. So I'd say on a retail level, you're looking right around 14 to 15,000. So you're essentially looking at $25,000 to $26,000.
Thanks,
All right.
man. I appreciate
My pleasure.
it.
See you soon. Take care. Good luck.
Thank
All right. Okay, so you started at 15 on that one, 15 on that one. This right here, I'll go 8,000 on. It might sit for a while. These, on the other hand, I'll be honest with you, they'll sell quick. So take 11,000 for these.
I think we're much closer on the 2 chief notes than we would be on that one.
Well, how much closer are we?
I can do the pair for $12,000. My best is 10.5 for the Bison.
Okay, would you do 8,500 on the star note?
No, I can't.
All right. I'm not gonna buy that one, but I'm gonna buy these for 12,000 bucks. Deal?
Deal.
Sweet.
Thank
All right. Grab that. Meet me over there.
All right, thank you.
All right. Pretty money, and I'll make a quick buck.
Hey, how's it going?
What's up? Got some old school Viking artifacts for you.
All right. Whoa. I mean, this is definitely some money right here.
I really want to make a couple $1,000s a day. It's a couple of the items, I didn't know exactly what they were. The prized possession, I believe, is this gold Viking bracelet. And the things I had to trade for it, it better be one of a kind.
All right, so where did you get this stuff?
I have a buddy that lives in England, and he has an antique store, and we buy and we trade from each other. And I had something he wanted, so he happened to trade me for this stuff.
All right. These are more like fragments of something.
Yeah, that was a brooch.
Obviously some kind of jewelry. I mean, all this stuff is. I mean, the problem is I don't know what it is.
Okay.
These 2 are really intriguing. This is really neat. I think it's what's left of a copper bracelet.
Okay. It's my favorite piece out of all of them.
You almost never see legitimate Viking items here in the U.S.
Even small and broken pieces, like some of the things in this collection, could be worth a lot of money if they're authentic, because real Viking items are hard to come by. I'm not even sure what everything is, but you never want to dismiss anything too quickly. There might be a diamond in the rough. Did you know much about the Vikings? I mean, just in general?
I knew they were bullies. I like how they would come in and just gangster everything around.
And yeah, that's basically what they did. These were the most iron men you ever seen in your life. And just the way their culture developed was that they just believed that it was a lot easier just to go take stuff from people than to actually trade with them.
Bully them, huh?
You know, if you went to most parts of Europe, there was planting season. Well, in Scandinavia, they planted crops and everything, but there was also raiding season. I have always been fascinated with Viking history. Their exploits are legendary, and I would just love to get something that's authentic. But I have to make sure they're truly Viking and not just rusty bits of stuff he dug out of the ground. I'm assuming you want to sell the stuff.
Yes, I would love to sell them.
All right. And did you have an idea what you wanted for this stuff?
I was thinking around $1,000.
Okay. Now, this stuff right here, okay, I can't tell you when it was made.
Okay.
Okay, I don't know if this is Celtic from like Ireland, Scotland.
It's haunted.
Okay, I can't tell you anything about it, okay? I can't tell you when this was made, but I can tell you this is gold. So there's a lot more than $1,000 worth of gold here. So I do have a friend, he is in town. I met him in New York, and he actually works on the Viking collection there at the Metropolitan Museum of Art.
Okay.
Can I have him look at this stuff?
That's not a problem.
Okay?
Be my guest.
Hang out, maybe buy something.
I know he's calling in the expert, but that makes it better for me. So him calling the expert just puts money in my pocket.
This is my Viking friend.
How you doing?
Nice to meet you.
Laird is the most knowledgeable guy I have ever met when it comes to Viking history and artifacts. He's been collecting this stuff for almost 20 years, and some of his items are in the Metropolitan Museum of Art. So I'm hoping he can tell me more about these pieces and what they're worth.
What was the thing with the little hats they would wear with the horns on them? The weird hats. I call them the weird hats, but...
Well, the weird hats actually come from Wagner's operas. They were an improvisation of what they thought Viking helmets might look like. You know, they were really thought of as a very barbaric people. Vikings actually never wore horned helmets. We know very little about what Viking helmets actually were. There's been 1 or 2 finds of Viking helmets. Remember, these are iron items, and they didn't last long in the ground. I guess before I proceed, did this all come as part of one collection?
Yeah, it was all together, all one.
If we look at what I'd say is this group of items right here, this is diagnostically Baltic Viking.
Baltic Viking, is that not Viking?
Well, I think the academics would say technically it's not Viking. These are tribes that were not necessarily as migratory as the Vikings or as warlike. They were contiguous with the Viking areas, and they traded quite a bit with them, and they copied their style of garb, their style of decorations. If you or I were put back in time and we walked in on these people, they would have looked like Vikings to us.
Okay.
Unfortunately, you see a lot of these types of items on auction sites right now. Because of that, the value's very low to negligible on these items. This particular piece caught my eye. This is part of a bracelet. It's a copper alloy. And so Viking currency, what they would do to trade is they would just cut bits of bronze and silver and they'd weigh it out. The merchants all carried scales, and that's how they would transact. You know, this item is probably worth $50.
Okay.
The complete bracelet is obviously larger and more interesting. The dragon head terminals are really an attempt to copy Viking jewelry that was being made in Sweden at the time, around the 10th century. And this item would probably be worth about $175 to $200.
All right, and this stuff?
This stuff, this is based on its size, and certainly not a Viking spear. It's an arrowhead of some sort. It could date from any time in Europe. I'd have to defer on that. It's not worth a lot, but it's certainly outside of my range of expertise.
And the bracelet?
The bracelet it appears to be Viking gold.
So you're saying this is legit Viking gold, the magical gold?
Well, I can't endorse any magic to it, but I would say it would appear from its form and how it's manufactured, these ciliated wires, to be very traditional Viking. Obviously, it would appear to be the star of this group of items. Auction estimates on it would be something between 6,000 to 8,000 British pounds, which would be, and I'll leave it to you to translate.
Please translate, my fine friend.
6,000 pounds would be right around 9,400 bucks.
Man, I knew it was worth something. He quoted the bracelet at over $9,000, and I think that's great because I only thought I was gonna get $1,000 out of it. So looks like I hit the jackpot.
Well, thanks for coming in, Ben.
I really appreciate it. If you want to see some real exciting stuff, I've got a couple swords that be happy to bring by the shop and show you.
Oh, bring them by. I'll take a look.
Terrific.
Hey, appreciate you, buddy.
No problem.
All right.
My pleasure.
All right.
I'm gonna show you what I want. Okay, these right here, I want to give you 150 bucks for.
I was thinking more along the lines of about 400. You heard what the guy told you.
I know what he told me, but I don't have a lot of customers going, hey, dude, you got some Viking jewelry? I'll go $200 on it.
If you can do that, you can do it 300.
I'll tell you what, I'll do 250.
You sure that's the best you can do?
Keep them then.
250.
All right, we got a deal, 250. Now this right here, I was thinking right around $6,000.
I was thinking around $8,000.
Okay, plain and simple, I'll give you $7,000. I will not give you any more. That is what I will give you. It is a more than fair price.
75?
No, $7,000. Okay, I mean,
you're a hard guy to
I'm not a hard guy to deal with it. You're the one who walked in here and wanted $1,000 for all of it, and you're walking out of here with $7,250.
Okay, well, for the magical gold, we'll have to settle at that, buddy.
Okay, all right. Okay, I'm gonna box this stuff up, and I will meet you right over there at the pawn counter.
Okay. 7,200. I'm gone. Hit the jackpot straight to the bank. Let's get on.
All right, what do we got here?
I've got a United States officer cadet uniform from West Point.
I can't believe they'd actually wear this thing in the summertime. It's all wool and leather.
Well, they make them sweat it out. I've collected for a long time, and now I'm selling this item because I need the money. And the lowest I'll take for it is $3,000.
So how did you come about this?
I purchased this from a military auction about 15 to 18 years ago.
Cool.
One of my favorite antiques is American militaria. I really like it. I mean, my dad was in the military, and the stuff just really interests me.
It says U.S. Officer Model 1895 blue wool undress tunic. It's correct for model 1902. And it's very, very rare to get them with the original hardware.
When Phil showed me the jacket, I was blown away. I couldn't believe that this jacket was 100 years old and in this great a shape.
It's not just a common uniform by any West Point officer. This uniform belonged to Griswold's.
When he said Griswold, that immediately got my attention. Griswold was the only guy from Nevada that was a general during World War II, and that's huge.
He was the commanding general of the 3rd Army. He was one of the generals that went into the Philippines, I think Guadalcanal. And you can check it out. And it says Griswold's. And it says 12/17/09. One of his family members contacted me by email to verify that that is his signature.
Yeah, it's neat. I could tell it's real because the iron ink is already beginning to oxidize. That's why it turns that brownish color.
Yes.
That's how you can tell it's old.
It takes years to turn that color. All his other uniforms were donated either to the Smithsonian or to West Point.
I've dealt with a lot of military items in the past, but I've never had anything associated with a general. And anything associated with a general means it's associated with more money.
So how much did you want for it?
I'd probably go 35 on it, unless it's worth more.
3,500?
Yeah.
I'll have to do a little digging to find out what it's worth.
Okay.
This West Point jacket is in great condition, but before I can put an offer on it, I need to have it authenticated. I have a friend that works at the Clark County Museum, and he is an expert on American militaria.
I'll see you tomorrow, man.
All right, thank you. I welcome the expert's opinion because that's going to help me sell the uniform, and I'm sure he'll agree that it's worth at least $3,500. Sit down, please.
This is the infamous jacket I told you about.
Ah, yes. I'm looking forward to this. I'm the administrator for the Clark County Museum System, which means I run the 3 museums that are operated by Clark County, Nevada. Now, do you mind if I open these up and take a look? No.
Go ahead.
What's interesting is not just that it's a West Point jacket, but it was a man who made quite a career in the military. He became a lieutenant general, which is quite high in the military, and he was a Nevada native. This is a very unusual thing. As I'm looking at areas like the buttonholes here, the way that those are lined, you know, the way the stitching is done, all of that seems correct to me. This has been added on, and that's probably a later piece. You can see that it's a different kind of fabric. It's not the same fabric as here. It's been added on. Probably the original one got torn. It's not wrong in that it shouldn't be on there. But it's a later addition to the jacket. And this is very typical. When you look at the sleeves, this striped lining, very typical. It's a very typical material at the turn of the century. The wear seems correct. And this would have gotten a lot of wear because in West Point you would have worn this a lot. I mean, I know what you can do if you want to fake something. I see nothing on here that tells me that that's been done. So if this was offered to me, I would take it for the museum. Looks right to the time period. The insignia is right. The construction is right. The materials are right. I think you've got a very, very nice piece here.
Thank you.
And just a wonderful coat. I've dealt with a lot of uniforms over the years in many museum collections, and it was very nice seeing one that is from that time period in that kind of condition, because it's very good condition, and was right. So in your personal opinion, what do you think it's worth? I can speak to whether it's real or not. I can tell you what I know about it, but you know, I can't tell you anything on the value. You can check that on your own.
I've been trying to get prices out of him for years. He won't give them, period. He just tells you if it's real. Okay. And that's why I come and see him.
But
thanks,
thank
man.
you.
I really, really, really appreciate it.
I appreciate you bringing it by. Thank you, Phil, for coming in.
Thank you for taking a look at my uniform.
The moment Mark said it was real, I knew I had to have it. But the question was, how much can I pay for it and still make a profit?
All right, so we know it's real now, so give me my money.
Okay, yeah, well, let's negotiate.
Okay.
So, hey, man, the big question. What do you want for it?
$8,500. Yeah, well, that's what I want for it, but as far as what's reasonable,
yeah.
I'd probably go around in the $3,500 price range on it.
It's really, really cool, but it's so hard to price things when there's only one of them.
This jacket is probably one of the most significant historical items you can have in your store. It has a name behind it.
Yeah, I know.
It's a really, really high-end piece. I mean, there's nothing you have here that I've seen that comes close to what this would do for your store to have this kind of quality in your showcase.
I gotta make money, and I just don't know if I can on it. That's the problem. You mean, literally, I think I'd buy it for $1,500.
How about 15 cash and 12 in trade?
That I go 1,500 cash. You know, I mean, I don't mean to beat you up, but it's just everything scares me to death. I'm getting 50% of what I was getting for diamonds. I'm getting.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, the prices have dropped that much on everything.
Well, give me some trade. Give me something. I want to buy something from your store. Give me 15 cash and 5 trade.
Okay, deal.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
We did get a deal.
We did get a deal. All right, it's cool, because I didn't think we were going to be able to make a deal.
Yep, well, I'm happy with the deal. He bought the jacket, and I got some cash, and I get to go on a shopping spree.
13, 14, 15. I am really pumped. I bought a jacket that I really love. I know I can make money on it, and I'm really excited.
Hey, how's it going?
How's it going?
What we got here?
Look, this is my tattoo set.
Chum,
what's up?
This guy's gonna tattoo your face.
Guy's gonna tattoo my face. You don't want to mess up this circle of beauty. I'm coming into a pawn shop today to try and sell my tattoo set. I wanted to be a tattoo artist, but then some things changed, and you know, I didn't have enough time for it, and so I'm just trying to get rid of it, make some money.
So what kind of machines do you got?
I actually got everything that you need to start. You got your liners to do your outlines of tattoos, and then you got the shader to shade and fill in. And I got like, you know, over 20 different colors of ink, the foot pedal, power source, stainless steel stems.
So what is this?
This is a pressure sanitizer.
You can cook a good pot roast in this thing.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Everybody knows I'm into tattoos around here. I mean, I got $6,000 worth of ink on my arms alone. It's a huge business here in Vegas, so I'm definitely interested in this equipment. I mean, it's a no-brainer.
Are you looking to pawn it or sell it, or?
I'd like to sell it.
What are you looking to get out of it?
About 400.
More comfortable doing 3.
Could we meet in the middle and do 350?
No.
Really?
3's what I could do.
All right,
You say you're a tattoo artist, man. What do you say, Big Hoss, if he draws a portrait of us, give him an extra 50?
If it's good, I will.
Think he can draw a portrait of us?
Yeah, I can do that.
Let's see what you got. 50 bucks if you can make a good portrait.
All right, yeah, that'll be good. Can you guys stand a little closer together for me?
You know this is bad. I'm not giving you any more than the 300.
Let's see what you got.
Why does Tremley have wings on?
Well, he's a pretty little angel.
That's definitely worth the extra 50 bucks, man. Let's go write you up.
Sounds good.
All right.
I just sold the tattoo set for $350. It's only $50 less than I was asking for, so I'm pretty stoked. I'm going home happy.
Earlier today, I bought a tattoo set off a guy. I'm thinking I could sneak out at lunch today and trade for a tattoo. So now I'm on my way to my friend Bundy's shop to go get a tat. I've been coming here for years, and he is the best.
What's up, Bundy?
What's up, big dog? It's cracking.
What you got for me? Soup.
All right.
But I figured try to get you to trade me some tattoo work for it.
Oh, boy. Let's see what you got here, buddy. Oh, what are you looking to get?
I was thinking like a pocket watch right there, man. Kind of like a time flies kind of theme.
Pocket watch?
Yeah.
Like an old school one?
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool. Let's draw it up.
I'm happy with the trade. I mean, this tat would have normally cost at least 350 bucks. It's definitely a win-win for me.
Corey's just strolling in after being gone for more than 3 hours without telling me or the old man where he's been. Needless to say, we got a few questions for him. So, Corey, where you been?
Rick, you know where the he's been.
Getting a tattoo, obviously.
What'd you rat me out? I didn't say anything.
So how much did that cost?
Some tattoo guns.
How much did you pay for the tattoo guns?
$350.
Well, you owe us $500.
What are you talking about? The tattoo cost $350.
You know the company policy, we have to make a profit. So you're gonna pay $500 for the damn guns, plus you're gonna work 3 hours overtime for leaving during the friggin' day.
All right, keep open for it.
One of these days, Corey will be running this shop. And to be honest with you, I'll be glad that I'm dead. You shouldn't be even getting tattoos anyhow.
Whoa, if anybody's gonna talk to me about tattoos, it's not gonna be you.
Corey, I got one tattoo.
You got a tattoo?
I got one over 40 years ago.
Why don't you tell us all about the tattoo?
You give me all kinds of crap for mine. I can't believe you have one.
You two are like two circus freaks.
At least it looks good.
Let's hear about your tattoo.
This is not about me. This is about you.
Here's what happened. It's 1959. He's in Japan. He promised my mom he wouldn't get any tattoos, so he thought it would be all right if he got a tattoo with my mom's name in it. But he spelled it wrong.
That's bad.
Quit giving me a hard time. I was a little under the weather that day.
That means drunk, right?
Yeah, I was a little inebriated. Let's drop the subject. Let's go to work and try to run a business in a normal sense.
I'll admit, maybe trading in the pawn shop's tattoo guns for a tattoo on my own arm wasn't a great idea, but at least I didn't misspell my wife's name.
What do we got here?
Got an old diving helmet I brought in for y'all to take a look at. Just wanting to kind of see, I mean, what it might burn me.
Oh, I'm stuck!
I'm coming in the pawn shop today to try to sell my old diving helmet. I don't know if it's worth a few $100s or it might be worth a few $1,000s. I mean, that's kind of what I'm going to find out. I like to collect old firearms, so I'm hoping I get enough money to at least give me some money to go towards an old Winchester or something like that.
Can you tell me where you got this thing?
Came from my wife's side of the family. She had an uncle that was in the Navy, and he collected memorabilia.
Do you know anything about it?
Really don't. I mean, it's got to be pretty old. I mean, it's been well used.
Damn, it's heavy. Well, I guarantee your first dive in this thing would have been scary.
I wouldn't even get in it.
If it's real, it's really old, like 1880 to 1900.
This thing is so cool. It's one of those items that walks in the door, and I want it even before the guy says hello.
It definitely looks old, but then again, there are some concerns here. This looks electrically welded right here. And if this is this old, they didn't have that.
It could be old and somebody could have done some repair work to it.
Okay, but one of the problems with these things is these were so cool sitting on the back of a bar somewhere that they started faking them. Okay? Whenever you have a cool, historical, and visually interesting item, people are going to make fakes. If there's a demand and no supply, people are going to create the supply.
So do you want to pawn it or do you want to sell it?
Well, I was just going to see what I might be able to get for it. I like to collect old rifles and just kind of wanted to see what I might get for this to go towards buying a rifle.
I just really need to find out if it's real or not. Because if this thing's real, it's worth a lot of money. The exact figure, I don't know. Okay? But I know a guy who knows all about these things. Let me call him in. Let me get him to take a look at it.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right, thanks.
All right. I'm an owner of West Sea Company. I've been dealing in nautical antiques for 35 years. I love the things. Every time I see a nautical antique, my heart starts to flutter. What are your concerns about this, Rick?
First off, is it real? We got parts of these things that are lead soldered together, but this almost looks welded. I mean, everything besides this looks in pretty damn good shape, but I don't even know if that's a big difference on these things. I mean, it's just one of those things I've never seen.
Well, it's no wonder you've never seen one, because this feature up here indicates that it was handmade. It was made back before metal spinning techniques. This is riveted on there. So this is a copper top, both soldered and riveted together so it was airtight. Basically, this is what's called a shallow water helmet, and you weren't swimming around in these things like we do today in scuba gear. These guys were actually standing on the bottom with weighted boots and a lead weight belt around their middle. This was probably the ultimate dangerous job back in its day. There was no telling whether that guy was ever going to come up from the bottom once he went down.
I can just imagine the guy whose job it was to test these things out for the first time. I imagine it's what Chumley would have done if he was alive 150 years ago.
So, do you think it's real? And if it is, what year is it?
I've looked at it pretty closely, Rick, and I'd say it's definitely real. What you have here is one of the earliest known American diving helmets that I've ever seen. This thing's got a date to back 1865, 1870.
What were they diving for in 1860?
They were doing pier work, scraping the hulls of warships, looking for cannon on the bottom of a bay.
So what do you think it's worth?
You know, on a good day at auction, I think you're looking at an easy 15,000 bucks. Maybe more.
Okay. Okay, well, thanks, Rod. I appreciate it.
My pleasure, Rick.
This is incredible. I can't believe this helmet is so old and worth so much. I really want this in my shop. I just have to get it for the right price.
So how much do you want for this thing?
The guy said it's worth 15,000.
I didn't ask you what the guy said. I asked you what you want. I'll give you $7 grand for it. $100 bills.
10. 10 with both of you.
$8 grand.
I can't do 8.
I told you what, you said you wanted a gun?
Yeah.
Here. It's even older than the helmet. It's an 1830 competition rifle.
That's a cool gun. Does it still fire?
Yeah, that will still fire.
The rifle and $8 grand in cash, right?
Yep.
Well, I can do that deal. All right.
I love creative solutions. This gun's been sitting around the shop for over 2 months, and it was just the perfect item to sweeten the pot to make this deal happen.
I walked in not knowing what it was worth and ended up with $8,000 and a nice old rifle, so I'm real happy with the deal.